Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for stopping by the channel. So for this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about bespoke watch straps. Are they worth it? And what are some of the things you should watch for when considering working with a bespoke watch strap maker? For my personal journey, we're going to be taking a look at this custom-made blue alligator leather strap from TerryCrafted that perfectly fits my Grand Seiko SLGA 007, aka the Lake Sua. And if you're interested in looking up TerryCrafted, I recommend checking out his Instagram page, which will be linked in the description of this video. And I want to point out that this is an unsolicited review from TerryCrafted. I just wanted to quickly shout him out because I really like the work that he does. And he's also fairly local to me in Toronto, Ontario. Now, if you're wondering what started me down the path of looking for a custom-made watch strap, it's really because Grand Seiko released their Evolution 9 series of watches, and at least for the models that I was interested in, which was of course the Lake Sua here, or also the White Birch, which I also now possess, they both came on bracelets, which were pretty good, but I didn't find overly comfortable. And also, I don't think it's the best way to highlight the beautiful case shape from the 9 series design. So I knew that I would need to invest in some nice straps for these watches, and at the time I didn't have a lot of 22mm wide straps. Another thing that I factored in is that when I did purchase these watches from my Grand Seiko authorized dealer, they threw in some fairly generic Grand Seiko straps which were too small but had some really nice GS buckles, and I knew that I wanted to incorporate a GS buckle on a new strap to complete the look to seamlessly go with my newly acquired Grand Seiko White Birch or Lake Sua. Now, interestingly, my first interaction with Terry wasn't through his Instagram page. It was actually on a Canadian watch collecting forum because he posted a German Flieger on that site, which I subsequently purchased. But the strap that came directly from the manufacturer of that German Flieger was too short for my larger 7.5-inch wrist. So Terry actually threw in one of his custom straps at the time before I even know he did bespoke work. So this is the strap that came with my German Flieger. It's a fairly standard black leather strap with some nice blue contrast stitching, and it was fairly good quality, so I did reach out to him after buying my Grand Seikos to see if he was opening to doing a collaboration. So I'm just going to throw out a few tips if you're going to go down the same road I took. One is to have a basic idea of the style and dimensions of a strap you want if you're going to go to a bespoke watch strap maker. And personally, what I found was very useful is that if you already have a watch strap that you like and you find comfortable and is the appropriate length, use that as a template when going for the custom route. Of course, you should also know the lug width of the strap that you want to purchase, the materials that you want to use. I mean, for me, I did want to go for a leather strap, but there's tons of different materials out there. I mean, you could get like a NATO fabric, you can get sailcloth, you can go for a rubber or a composite strap material. But for reference, the material for my strap is a sapphire blue alligator with a silver Italian pebble grain calf lining on the underside, which is very supple and comfortable. And of course, it does have a fairly straight standard silver stitch along the sides of the strap. And that was really just to pick up the silver on the White Birch or some of the applied facets of the markers on both the White Birch or Lake Sua. And the color of the blue sapphire alligator strap really complements the blue dial of the Lake Sua to mimic the waves on that particular lake by the Grand Seiko facility. Now, in terms of other dimensions, again, the width was 22mm to accept the lugs for my Grand Seiko watches, and it did have to taper down to 18 to accept the Grand Seiko buckle that was provided to TerryCrafted. And because my wrist size is 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters in circumference, I wanted the long portion of a strap to be 120 millimeters. and the buckle side to be about 80 millimeters, just so that when I was wearing it, it would fall nicely in the center of my wrist. Now I find it's good to actually have a dialogue with the Bespoke watch strap maker when you're going through all these type of specifications instead of like just filling out a form. You might need to be a little bit patient because this isn't like buying a strap off of Amazon. It will generally take 1 to 2 weeks to actually make the strap once you input all your information. But customer service should also be something you look for when working with a really good watch strap maker, and on this regard, TerryCrafted was phenomenal. To give you guys an example, when Terry did finally ship this strap to me, I did find that the spacing for the pin portion of the buckle wasn't actually deep enough to fit the oddly shaped pin for the Grand Seiko buckle. And when I mentioned this to TerryCrafted, he immediately called me up, and he actually sent his courier to pick up the strap from my house free of charge, ship back to him, and with the buckle in hand, he was actually able to ensure that it fit properly into the strap. Now in terms of pricing, you can expect to pay between 200 to 300 Canadian dollars when working with Terry for a strap that's similar in terms of quality and materials. And I do think it's worth it, especially when you're considering matching up a strap to a watch that costs many multiples of that amount of money. When it comes to overall quality for this strap, I would say that it is excellent. I have noticed that this strap braked in really quickly. Even minor details like the stitching or like the details on the floating keeper were very well executed. Even things like the integrated spring bars were executed very well, because I've noticed on cheaper off-the-shelf straps, these integrated spring bars tend to shift around a lot or even break sometimes. Comfort and wearability for the strap is very good as well. The only caveat I would say to that, and this is purely based on how the watch is designed and not the strap itself, is that this combo does wear a bit top heavy. And that's a lot to do with the fact that this strap does taper away a lot as you get away from the head of the watch. And even the strap thickness, which is padded a lot near the head of the watch, does taper off a bit. And that leads to the watch kind of moving back and forth and not staying as planted on your wrist as you would like. I mean, if I had to do it again and buy another bespoke watch strap specific to the Seiko 9 series of cases, I would get one that just didn't taper as much, or where the padding stayed consistent throughout the thickness of the strap as well. But guys, that's my overview of purchasing a bespoke watch strap from TerryCrafted. I hope you guys enjoy this content, and if you do, make sure you give a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And also, if you have specific feedback about buying bespoke watch straps, do leave it in the comment section of this video. And as always, I can't wait to catch you guys in the next one.